Well, good evening, everybody. It's 8 p.m. in Austin, Texas. All amateur radio traffic, please stand by. The Oak Hill Radio Thursday Night Net is about to begin. I almost went into my Friday night spiel. Thank you, Mr. Repeater. If there's any emergency or priority traffic, please come with your name and call sign now. Nothing heard. Well, welcome. You're listening to the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club's Thursday Night Net. Our call sign is N50AK. My name is Rusty, WZ5BBS. I'll be your net control for tonight. I'm transmitting from IQTH in Northwest Austin to the flagship 14732 over Peter. You can check in using Echolink, using K5 Tango Mike Tango Romeo, or KA5D-R. If you got All-Star, you can also hit us up on 51444. That's the All-Star node, 51444. For a list of all the repeaters, frequencies, and anything you want to know about Thursday Night Net, visit n50ak.org and click on the All-Star tab. That'll show you everybody that's there. We also have the welcome team standing by waiting to approve your memberships, so go join us, and we can also tell you how to donate some money. We can certainly use that. We also have in the video net, we got the original Tron going on. So if you want to come join us and watch Tron, I forget, it came out in the 70s, but it's one of my favorites. So come hang out with me in the video net where we got Tron going right now. Tonight's net is a controlled net, meaning stations should refrain from transmitting until designated check-in or comment times. We get together every week to share knowledge, ask questions, or just hang out with the club. If you're a new ham, we love the new hams, are just new to the net. The Thursday Night Net is a social gathering, and it's a great way to get your feet wet and meet the club. You don't have to be a club member to join in on tonight's fun, but it's a free club, and you might as well be a member. Any and all licensed operators are welcome to participate. It's very easy to check into the net tonight. In just a bit, I'll ask for check-ins and take down a list of all stations who want to participate. Once we have everybody checked in, I'll go down the list one at a time and give each of you the floor. Feel free to ask questions, tell us about something you've been working on, or just say hi. Just so you know what to expect, this is typically how the net goes. Sky hanging out with us watching Tron. Hey Sky, good to see you, man. We start the net off with short time check-ins for those of you that can't stick around until the end. Then we continue on with exam questions, ham radio news, followed by club announcements and regular check-ins. If you missed the first round of check-ins, don't you worry. We will grab you on the next round. With all that said, I'm going to do another quick ID, and then we will jump right into short time check-ins. You're listening to the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club's Thursday Night Net. Our call sign is N50AK. My name is Rusty, WZ5BBS. I'm your net control for tonight. Our net happens every Thursday at 8 p.m. And for more details about the club or to learn how you can become a member, visit us online at n50ak.org. All right, it is time for short time check-ins. If you want to check in and get on the log but you don't have any comments tonight, just say no traffic. I won't take general comments from the short timers. And if you check in as a short timer and you want to join us later because the conversation is so stellar, you can always feel free to do a recheck. To check into tonight's net, please state your name slowly and clearly. When giving your call sign, please use standard ITU phonetics if you know them. This gives everybody the opportunity to learn them, and it makes it easier for net control, and that's me. Let's see for Ernesto. We got Ernesto standing by, maybe. Give you an example of how to check in tonight. Ernesto, are you out there? Let's see if we can show everybody the proper way to check into the net tonight.
This is Kilo India 5, Papa Zulu November. Ernesto, fine, you call me. I'm like the least. Anyway, back to net.
Did I catch you in the kitchen again?
No, I was just half asleep.
Roger. Well, thank you for that. And with that, let's get tonight's net started. If you are a short timer and you want to check in, please come with your name and your call sign now.
Kilo 2 Alpha Charlie, Art, and town of Tonawanda, New York. Short time, in and out. Appreciate it, and you have a wonderful rest of your net there. K2AAC, back to net control.
Thank you, Art, from Tonawanda. We got anybody else wants to check in short time? Now's the time.
This is Kilo Juliet 5 Bravo Golf X-Ray. Steve from Dripping Springs. So I got some family stuff going on tonight. Just wanted to do short time check-in. 73, y'all.
This is Kilowatt 5 Bravo Zulu India Ray down here in South Austin. Short time, no traffic.
This is Kilo India 5 Yankee India Alpha, Marshall, South Austin. Nice to hear your voice, Rusty. No traffic.
This is Kilo India 6, Hotel Quebec Tango, Canton, South Austin. No traffic.
This is KB5MPJ, Jason and Buda, no traffic.
All right, that's quite the list and quite the bit of no traffic. Anybody else want to come check in short time on the net tonight? Come with your name and call sign.
This is David, November 5, Yankee Alpha, November.
This is KJ5BLV, Kilo Juliet 5 Bravo Lima, Victor, Gerardo in Pasadena. First time on the net.
All right, well, there is our list of first round of short timers. We got to thank Art, K2AAC up in Tonawanda for stopping in and saying hi. We got Steve, KJ5BGX, he's no traffic. We got Ray, K5BZI, he's no traffic. We got Marshall, KI5YIA, he's no traffic. Howdy, howdy, Marshall. We got Ken, KI6HQT, he's never got traffic, but we love that he checks into the net. We got Jason, KB5MPJ, he is no traffic. And we got David, N5YAN, he didn't say no traffic, so David, what you up to, man?
Nothing exciting, just some physics homework, but wanted to check in while I wait to read off the super challenging and difficult Thursday night net general and amateur extra question pool questions. And don't worry, they're not actually that bad. I made sure to pick some pretty easy ones.
So, have you decided English or Spanish? Just for, I think the extra should be Spanish, just for some extra fun.
Ya no sé si puedo decir todas estas palabras en español porque pues son demasiadas complicadas y pues tienen material technical que ya no sé cómo decir en español, pero no lo voy a intentar ni más. Anyways, yeah, so no Spanish. Way too much complicated vocabulary for me. Back to you, Rusty.
Sí, senor, yo quiero Taco Bell. And there you have it. All right, next is Gerardo, KJ5BLV. Gerardo played trivia with us every Friday, and he just got his call sign. This is his first Thursday night net. And it's good to hear you, man. Thanks for checking in. What you been up to? What you got going on? Well, you keyed up, but we didn't hear anything. If you want to try that again.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Rusty. Yep, I appreciate being on the net. It's my first time, so still learning the ropes. I've been in the ham radio hobby maybe 4 or 5 months, and kind of just got serious about it recently and decided to test, and picked up on your trivia night, and really enjoy the hobby, and look forward to learning more.
Fantastic, man. Well, we're glad to have you in the club, part of the family. So thanks for checking in tonight. These things usually run for a couple hours, and a little more if the drinking has been flowing. So we'll see how late this one goes. All right. Well, let's see if we got any more short timers that want to check in. We'll do a little round 2 for short time. If you want to come in and check in short time, come with your name and call sign now.
This is Kilo India 5, Uniform Kilo Foxtrot, Steve in Dripping Springs.
All right, it looks like Steve's going to be our only round 2 check-in. KI5 UKF, what's going on, man? How's field day?
It was hot. It wasn't too bad. We were in a air-conditioned little room, so that wasn't so bad, but it was a little on the warm side. Had a lot of fun, though. Maybe too much fun the first night, but kind of stabilized that a little bit the second night. But overall, a great experience. Over.
Well, very good. You get extra points for hangovers on Saturday, so good for you. Did the YL enjoy herself, or is this the first time, last time she's ever going to come play with the radio fun?
She had a good time. She's a much more competitive person than I am, so I was a little bit surprised she didn't get into the contesting more. I think once I told her that we were pretty much going to be at the bottom of any foreseeable rankings, maybe she lost some interest there. But she did enjoy it, and she is interested in the hobby, so hoping to get her looking at the technician exam here in the next few months. Over.
Very cool, man. Well, ham prep, we'll get her there, and then our next one is July 15th. That one might be a little close, and then the next meeting's in October. So, well, thanks for playing field day with us, and thanks for hanging out. All right, before we get into regular check-ins, we are going to review a question or 2 from the FCC's current general and extra exam pool. If you have a technician license, this will give you a sample of what the test is all about. If you've already passed your general exam, it's always a good thing to review the material in preparation for your extra license. For those of you that know, I'm always right on these things. Let's send it over to David, N5YAN, for tonight's exam questions. David, it's all yours.
Thanks, Rusty. And just to clarify, I should ask technicians to come with their answers first, correct?
Yeah, we like to let the technicians give a stab at it, and then if no technicians show up or, after a minute, then you can open the floor up to everybody.
All right, sounds awesome. Okay, for the general question tonight, we have G7C08. I believe that's an O or a 0. Who knows? Anyways, please don't Google it. So, which circuit is used in analog FM radios, or specifically receivers, to convert the IF output signal to audio? A mixer, B, phase inverter, C, discriminator, or D, a product detector? Technicians, come now with your answers, please, and we'll move on to general or extra class licensees. Okay, doesn't sound like any technicians are here to answer the question. Any general class or extra class licensees would like to give it a shot, and before we do that, just real quick, my call is N5YAN, and I'll go ahead and read out the question again for anyone who missed it. Which circuit is used in analog FM receivers to convert IF output signals to audio? A mixer, B, a phase inverter, C, a discriminator, or D, a product detector?
5SML.
Go for it.
Yeah, I go with C, the discriminator.
K5BZI, I go with detector D.
Yeah, he's at Amblin with a mixer.
Kilo 7 Tango Victor Alpha. I'm going to join Ernesto on Team Mixer Alpha.
Alright, so far we have quite a few answers, and I believe only one person got it right. Does anyone else would anyone else like to throw their hat in the ring for this question?
N5LX.
That's Sky.
Well, I don't know if it's really a technical answer, but it's maybe more of has to do with your definition of those words. I mean, a detector and a discriminator can be the same thing when you're referring to FM. So I don't know which one to pick. FM demodulator, detector, discriminator, like they're all the same thing. But I guess I would go with C, just to see if I got it.
Product detector is usually AM and 5SML.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, that is correct. The product detector is usually used for FM, or not FM, AM or SSB. Without giving away the answer, do we have any last calls for the general class question for tonight? Okay, nothing heard. Yeah, so a product detector is often used for AM and SSB, and a discriminator is pretty neat. It basically detects whether or not the signal is above or below the center frequency, if I'm remembering correctly, and demodulates an FM signal and using all analog parts instead of I and Q demodulation. So the correct answer was C, a discriminator. Alright, now we're going to head and move on to the extra class question for tonight. Oh no, I forgot to write down the question. Give me 1 second, please. I apologize. N5YAN. Okay, apologies for the delay. We are doing extra class question E2A04, which I managed to write down all the answers for, but I forgot to write down the question, and I wanted to read off the exact question just to be safe. Okay, so what is meant by the term mode as applied to an amateur radio satellite? We have A, the satellite's uplink and downlink frequency band. B, whether the satellite is in low Earth or geostationary orbit. C, the satellite's orientation with respect to the Earth. Or D, whether the satellite is in a polar or equatorial orbit. Technician class licensees, if anyone of you would like to give it a shot, please come down with your name and call sign. Slowly and phonetically, please. Okay, nothing heard. We'll go ahead and move on to general class and amateur extra class licensees. If you'd like to toss your hat in the ring for this question, please come now with your name and call sign slowly and phonetically, please.
This is K5BZI. I'm going to go with Alpha.
November 5, Sierra Mike Oscar, Alpha.
Alright, so far we had answers from K5BZI and N5 Sierra Mike Oscar, I believe. Hopefully I copied the call correctly. Any general or extra class licensees that would like to answer this question, please come now with your call. And if I need to repeat the question, that's fine. Just let me know. Alright, so I'm happy to say that both people who answered the question got it correct. The mode, when you're talking about amateur radio satellites, is talking about the bands for the uplink and downlink frequency, whether it's, 2 meter 440 or 33 centimeters or whichever band happens to be used for that satellite is called the band. There are certain amateur radio satellites that just have a linear transverter, I believe is the proper terminology, but it's basically just an RF mixer that takes a certain frequency band and up converts it or down converts it to another frequency band, and that gets sent back down to Earth. For those, you can operate CW, SSB, FM, whatever. There's no mode in that sense. It's just the frequency band. Alright, thanks for letting me do the questions for tonight, and I'll take it back to net. N5YAN.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. For those of you that don't know David, N5YN, he's the vice president of the UT Amateur Radio Club. You can catch them every Wednesday for their net. It's a fun one. All right, well, before we get into the news and nuggets, we got Allie on standby. You're listening to the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club's Thursday night net. Our call sign is N508K. Rusty, WZ5BBS. I'm your net control for tonight. We're here every Thursday at 8 p.m. And for more details on the club, anything you want to know, N508K.org is your place. We got Allie coming up next for news and nuggets. K5BZI, WZ5BBS. Are you out there?
This is K5BZI, station control. I will hand it over to Allie for the news.
Update on FCC ULS system restored.
The button on the right doesn't lock, the one on the left does.
I was on the left.
Yeah, so you gotta push it again to lock it. There you go. Okay.
As of June 27, 2023, all systems have been reported to be working. However, visitors to the website will see a message referring them to Public Notice DA 23-529 for additional information and guidance on filing deadline extensions. The system was first reported unavailable on June 9, 2023. On Friday afternoon, June 23, the EBF system was restored. All VEC organizations use that system for filling exam sessions, individual applications, and club license applications. ARRL VEC staff worked late into Friday night to ensure all backlogged sessions and application files were transmitted to the FCC before the weekend. Approximately 350 backlogged files were successfully submitted to and processed by the FCC before the system's normal shutdown at 8 p.m. ARRL is still monitoring the ULS system, and any further updates will be available at ARRL News. ham operators played vital role during telecommunications outage. When high winds took out phone lines and the internet for many residents in Socorro County, New Mexico in May, there was a little-known lifeline to state officials in Santa Fe that carried the news of the need for help with communications infrastructure. Thanks to Socorro's Al Brown, the statewide emergency coordinator of the New Mexico Department of Homeland Security and Emergency Management, Wynn Branning, got the news via ham radio. Quote, when I called Santa Fe via emergency landline, Wynn Branning told me he had been already made aware of the situation we had through ham radio. Quote, Trish could have made a radio transmission about Socorro County's plight after receiving her Federal Communications Commission license in April. Quote, I'm a newly licensed ham amateur radio. I have a technician class license, Tripp said. Tripp got her license following the retirement of the communications coordinator, Per Albrecht, the only county employee with a ham license. The International Field Day for Ham Operators was this past weekend from noon Saturday until Sunday. It was a chance for the public to learn what the radio broadcast system is about. There are two schools of thought regarding the origin of the term ham radio, with one theory being it was a derogatory label given to amateur radio broadcasters by professionals. Radio interfaced by amateurs could override radio station signals, leading to FCC regulations. A second theory is the term ham comes from the first letter of the last names of radio pioneers Heinrich Hertz, Edwin Howard Armstrong, and Guglielmo Marconi. While the term's origin may be murky, ham radio has existed since 1901. Congress passed the Radio Act of 1912, which required amateurs to be licensed, and it developed a code of conduct that current radio operators work under today. For a ham operator like Brown, who sent the email to state officials about Socorro's communications problems, the radio system is a family affair and shared by his wife Sandy, and the pair detail how a friend made contact with King Hussein of Jordan, another apparent ham enthusiast. Making contacts is the backbone of successful shortwave radio transmissions. With the average age of ham operators being 60 in Socorro County, there is a growing need to bring new blood into the hobby. That is why Jim Loman, president of the SARA, was happy to see youngsters like Matthew and his brother James Price IV, who have honestly come by their love of ham radio via their father James. At just 11 years old, Matthew earned a general operator's license after earning a technician's license last year as a 10-year-old. He's already bested his father's license age of 13, and if he works hard enough, he might earn the amateur extra license. Matthew appears likely to earn that status as he quickly articulates the number of contacts he had made by Saturday afternoon, including communication with an operator in Illinois. Moving from a radio desktop microphone to a laptop computer at his left, Matthew begins reeling his contacts. This chart here shows the number of places I have contacted and their locations, end quote, Matthew said. The preteen also demonstrates a vast knowledge of state location and their names, which appears to be a positive side effect of ham radio, as a younger brother James shows his knowledge of the program and matches his older brother's knowledge of the program and U.S. states. Quote, my whole family has been involved in ham radio, and I had kind of gone dormant until Matthew started showing an interest, end quote, James Price said. Matthew's birthday 2 days before, including new radio broadcast equipment that brought about the same excitement as new toys on Christmas Day for the youngster. While ham radio is a hobby for most, its importance and abilities were certainly shown recently, and the event wasn't lost on Loman, who sees the need to keep recruiting interest in the field. Quote, I think it's pretty important to keep the technology alive because, I mean, in emergencies, this is the analog transmission. Our field day is a perfect example, where we can transmit from power provided by generators or batteries. In an emergency situation where a power grid is locked out, we can still communicate with the rest of the world. End quote, Lumen said. And that's it for tonight's news.
K5BZI clear, back to net control.
Thanks, Ray and Allie, for the news. Appreciate that. Mostly Allie, though. We just got to throw Ray in there, but thank you, Allie, for making that happen. All right. Well, let's see. What's next? We got the news and the Nuggets done. I think we're going to have to go into the trivia fun, and then it'll be time for club business. So let's get into that. So last week we had a very good final trivia net. We had 49 people hanging out with us. John, KE5RS, was the winner of the final trivia net. Sky, N5LX, coming in second, and Scott, KI5OBD, coming in third place. The elimination round was won by Sky, N5LX. He made it all the way to level 2 and beat out everybody. The final top 3 player rankings for the Friday night trivia net. We had Chris, W5BBM, in the number 1 spot with 2,055 points. Alan, KB5VKP, in the number 2 spot with 1,804 points. And Steven, KI5WLF, in the number 3 spot with 1,803 points. Those were all ranked points, but congratulations to the top 3. I would like to personally thank everybody. We had over 500 unique people come and play on the Trivia Net over the 2 years that it was rolling, and it was a whole lot of fun. It's the first net I've ever done. It was the first really kind of big thing I did for the club, and everybody came in with open arms and played, and we had good times drinking and watching movies, and it was a super neat thing to do, and thank you so much for allowing me to do that and make it happen. There's been some chatter about it coming back, but we shall see about that. I think I got to look. If Cody's lights aren't moving, it looks like Cody's gotten sucked into that phone. I don't know, Cody, you still alive? Oh, he just moved. All right, cool. Cody's still alive. All right, so that is the Trivia Net update. We're going to send it over to KI5PZ, and he's going to tell us about all the fun official club stuff going on. Ernesto, the floor is yours.
This is KI5PZN. Thank you, Rusty, for running the net tonight. And we have 3 new members since last week's net. We currently have 542 members. So you can imagine if the 542 members check in tonight, that'll be really awesome. All right, we want to welcome John, KG5TNF. We also want to welcome Charles, KJ5BLC, and Gerardo, KJ5BLV. Do you like how I pronounce that, Rusty? All right. Quick reminder, we have N5OAK gear available online on n5oak.org. Just look for the N5OAK gear tab. Club meeting, will be on Saturday, July the 15th at the Austin branch of the Austin Public Library. That's located on the corner of Exposition Boulevard and Bowman Avenue. Check out the website or the meeting channel on Discord for all of the details. Next license session will be right after the next quarterly meeting on July the 15th, again at the Austin branch of the Austin Public Library. And if you want to upgrade your license, or if you know someone who is interested in getting a license, again, sign up online at N5OAK. You can click on Get License to reserve a spot. Haven't heard anything on Fox Hunt for this weekend, but keep an eye out, because usually those things will pop up either later tonight or tomorrow is when we start hearing Fox activity, so we'll keep an eye out on that. And, well, I think Sky is going to be talking about Fox News a little bit later, or after me. Nets, don't forget we have the K5LBJ Saturday morning net at 10 a.m. The Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system and the University Link repeater system and the 146.940 repeater. And the DMR repeater, check out the DMR repeater nets. We have nets almost every night, so go to n5oak.org and check for the DMR repeater on the net schedule. We have a calendar, and that's the easiest way to stay up to date. So subscribe to the official club calendar, n5oak.org. And let's see, we have a calendar tab there on the n5oak.org, so that's super easy for you guys to find it. And if you have any photos or QSL cards that you would like to share on the website, head over to the comment box channel on Discord and submit them there. And also a quick reminder that every Saturday morning we get together at Waterloo Ice House on 8600 Burnett Road. That's just south of 183. We get there like around 8 a.m., but if you're interested, you don't have to be there at 8 a.m. If you don't want to, we usually stay for a couple of hours, so everybody's welcome to join the fun. It's a good fun group of friends that we get together, like I said, every morning. Those breakfasts have been happening since the mid-70s that I've been, being a ham for a couple of years. I've been going there for a couple of years, and it's a fun way to start your weekend. All right, well, that's it for the official business. This is KI5PZN, back to net control.
Thanks, sir. That's very early for breakfast. To add to the club meeting, we are voting on board members. We've got Ernesto lined up for vice president, and we have Philip, AC5G, for secretary. So come and vote for them at the next meeting. I've also got the field day photos are up on the web. So for those of you that aren't a part of Discord, we've got that up there. So go to n5oak.org. You can check out this summer field day photos. They're up there. Next up, it is Sky, N5LX, and he's going to tell us all about our fox hunt news. Sky, are you out there?
Yeah, man, this is N5LX, Sky in Oak Hill, beautiful downtown Oak Hill. And so we had 2 fox hunts in the Austin area this last weekend. One hosted by Rusty, WZ5BVS, and I hosted one as well. And the successful hunters for Rusty's fox were David, K7TVA, John and Diane, KE5RS, and I found it as well. Rusty's fox location was a couple of weeks ago, not this last weekend, but the 2 weeks ago. It was counterintuitive because he hit it next to his front porch at his house, and he had already hosted a fox hunt a couple of months ago where he had a pretty elaborate setup. He had a 2-meter fox transmitter cross-feeding into 70-centimeter transmitter going into his base antenna, and I don't think anybody expected him to use his house a second time, but last weekend he hit at his house again. Well, I'm going to reset. This last weekend, not 2 weeks ago, but this last weekend, it's like nobody, was like, well, people were actually kidding him and saying, hey, you going to hide it at your house again? And he was adamant, and he said, no. He's like, it's definitely not going to be at my house. Well, of course it wasn't at his house, but it was like 100 yards away down the road. It was hidden in some brush, I don't know, just behind like a tree line. It was actually a pretty nice location, but he tricked us again. So it was kind of fun, and he definitely fooled me. I wasn't expecting it to be there. The second fox hunt, my infamous Sky Fox. Let's see, the successful fox hunters for that one were Tony and Anthony, KJ5AGH, Mark, N5UMT, and again, John and Diane, KE5RS. I'm going to reset. I enjoyed running into John and Diane just as I was about to retrieve the Sky Fox for the weekend. So I let John finish his hunt, and I just followed him and watched him, do the last phase of the hunt. And actually, I was impressed. He made it look really easy, and it kind of made me feel like, hey, I need to up my game. He uses an Arrow dual-band Yagi and a real simple potentiometer for attenuation. And also, when he gets real close, I think he was listening to the second harmonic of the transmitter. And it just seemed to work really well for him. I had trouble retrieving the Fox transmitter because I was a little bit too ambitious. It was getting dark, and I had put the Fox maybe just a little bit too high. So I think maybe it was almost 30 feet up. So I think next time I'm not going to be quite so ambitious. But so far they've been working out that way. I think it kind of breaks things up, makes it a little different. Anyway, the weather was hot, but the fox hunting was good. So thanks to Rusty for hosting, and thanks to everyone who participated. I'm going to reset again. Oh yeah, if I got anybody's name, call sign wrong, or if I left anything out, please let us know. And for the last part of the fox hunt news, we always try to remind people that if you think you're interested in radio direction finding, but you maybe haven't had a chance to try it out, there's more information on the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club website, and also the Fox Hunt Discord channel. And the Fox Hunt Discord channel has what do they call it? There's like pinned messages. If you go to the upper right, there's a little stick pin icon, and if you click on that, you'll find directions on how to build antennas and make fox hunt maps and a lot more things. And you can always post questions too. So if you haven't tried one, give it a try. You might like it. We usually have fox hunts every 2 or 3 weeks, sometimes every weekend depending on the weather. And I'm actually planning on hosting a fox hunt this weekend. So stay tuned. I'll post all the information on Discord. But anyway, thanks for listening to Fox Hunt News, and back to Net Control. This is N5LX.
Thank you, Sky. And remember, this weekend, don't be so high while you're out there putting out the fox. It'll help you out a whole lot. All right, well, we're going to do a quick ID, but first we're going to see if anybody has any other club announcements they would like to add. Did we miss anything out there? If you got anything, please come now. Nothing heard? All right, well, for those of y'all that just tuned in, you're listening to the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club's Thursday Night Net. Our call sign is N5OAK. My name is Rusty, WZ5BBS. I'm your net control for tonight. We're here every Thursday at 8 p.m. And for more details about the club, how to become a member, and be a part of this crazy group, go visit us online at n5oak.org. All right, so let's see. We got all that done. I'll be looking for regular check-ins here shortly. No membership is required, but it's a free club, so come on and join. Any licensed operator is welcome to check into the net. New hams are encouraged to check in, so if you're a new ham, come in and make it happen. Tonight's question, it's very apropos for this group. What is your favorite adult beverage? And we'll do that one, and we'll also do did you do any field day? What'd you do for field day? Anything like that? So it's officially time for the regular check-ins, and y'all know the drill. We're going to kick off regular check-ins, and we're looking for anybody that just got licensed. If you just got licensed and you've never checked into the net before, I want you to come first. So y'all give them some space, no quick keying over there, Anderson. If you are brand new and you've never been on a net, or you just got your license, you're one of those KJ5 guys, this is your time to shine. Come with your name and call sign now.
This is November 5, Sierra Mike Oscar, Bill, North Austin.
Anybody wants to check into the net tonight, come with your name and call sign now.
This is N5LX.
This is Kilo India 5, Papa Zulu November.
This is Kilo Golf 5, Tango November Foxtrot.
This is KI5 YLS, Cody in Fort Hood.
This is W5TNC, Thomas in Pflugerville.
All right, that's a good first round. For those of you all, if you're in the Discord, we got Tron. They just did the light cycles, and we're definitely inside the computer. So come join us over on the video. We got Ray and Sky and Steve and even Cody. I can't believe he's sitting over there with a big billboard that says the Cowboys suck. I can't believe that, Cody. It's so surprising. I don't understand it. All right, first on the list is Bill, N5SMO. I've been creeping on your Facebook, Bill. Bill's been on vacation, but besides that, Bill, what is your favorite adult beverage, and what'd you do for field day, man?
Hey, Rusty, thanks, man. I was at a family reunion for field day up in northern Indiana, and it was pretty cool. Saw my last surviving aunt from my mom's side. She's like 93 years old now, and I had 46 cousins from that side of the family, and there were like 90 people there because most of the cousins that are still alive made it, and they had kids, and some of their kids had kids, so it was pretty cool. Got some a couple of activations in, some POTA activations, and thanks for the QSO. And man, there's like a pipeline from 8 till 9:30 in the morning from Central Illinois to Texas, because I swear 90% of my contacts were from Texas. Let me let it drop here. And favorite adult beverages, I'd have to say up until recently it was a Islay Scotch, single malts like Lafroig and similar, but I recently came across another real good one, Galati, which instead of having the heavily peat smoked barley and grains that go into it, it's aged in used sherry casks. And it is really, really good. It's not so heavy on the peat on the front end, and it's got a little bit of like cherry, sort of fruity, after overtones to it, and nice finish to it. And yeah, so that's what I'm on for right now. That's my favorite. And that's all for me. So I'll send it back over to you, Rusty, and the rest of the group on the N508K net from N5SML.
Oh man, you just made me think. So I didn't tell. I'm a bourbon guy. I like small batch, single barrel, something. I like it a little spicy. But Woodford did a release where they did the same thing. They did it in the sherry cask, and it was sweet. Like same thing. It was kind of sweet and it was kind of hot, but it made your face turn all red. Like you look like a professional alcoholic towards the end, and keep you warm in the winter. It was it was so nice, and it's fun. I'm not a big on the Scotch. I don't like the peaty bits, but I'm slowly but surely I'm getting into that. Well, all right, we got Bill, N5SMO, hanging out with us. Anybody want to come and say hi to Bill? Now is your time. All right, nothing heard. Well, Bill, thanks for checking in. And yeah, it was good hearing you on the POTA activation. It was fun getting to chat with you on that and see all the cool things you got to see on your vacation, man. It was a lot of fun. Have a good week, man, and we'll see you here next Thursday. Next on the list is Sky N5LX. Sky, what is your favorite adult beverage? And I know you went to Field Day, so tell us all about it.
This is N5LX. Let's see. Favorite adult beverage? Well, I'm a big water guy, but when I was younger and I still was, when I could still drink, I was very much into tequila neat, but definitely not the cheap stuff. No Cuervo. I mean, I used to know a guy who was like always introducing me to some new tequila, and it would like make my jaw drop when I found out how expensive it was. But if you're not a big drinker, I mean, it's not a big deal. But I really enjoyed it, and I kind of liked amber ales as well. But I'm a water guy now. Let's see. I'm gonna reset. Field Day. I mean, I'm not really into the contesting aspect of it, but I did go out to Ranch 3232 and got to hang out with the guys. I had a really good time, good visit. It was funny, I drove all the way out there to visit, and I spent a lot of time visiting with Mike, one of my neighbors. But I got a chance to make a few contacts away from the house, which was a real treat because there's horrific QRM RFI here from the power pole behind my house, and so that was kind of nice. And also, I got a chance to field test the mag loop that I built, so I think I'm ready to try maybe a POTA contact next time. And I didn't get a chance to interject, but I was going to ask Bill if he could maybe give us a little bit more detail and describe his POTA experience.
Yeah, for sure, Sky. N5SMO. I was using ICOM IC705 and a Pentec. I did some with a Pentec TR45, which is a CW only radio, both 10 watts. And I probably did about 1/4 CW, and the rest of it was on sideband because I made 4 tries, and out of those 4, 3 of the mornings, the sideband propagation in the morning on 20 meters was just great, man. And there was like S1 noise where I was in the park. It was super quiet. And, I was getting 5.9s, giving 5.9s and getting like 5.7s with 10 watts, so that was pretty cool. Antenna was a 17-foot MFJ extendable whip, mounted on with a mount that was on a light stand, but the light stand was lowered all the way down to as low as it goes, so it was only about 2 feet off the ground, maybe 2.5 feet off the ground at the feed point, and I had 8 10-foot long radials on it, giving me about a 1.4 to 1 SWR on 14 250, and it was pretty good, man. Had a little pileup going, spotted myself, and a couple calls, and the stuff came rolling in. So it was really nice. Except the one morning we got blown out. There was a solar flare going on. The noise was atrocious, and there was nothing heard, man. After 20 minutes, gave up. Back over to you, Sky, N5SMO.
Thanks, Bill. That sounds awesome, man. And yeah, the 20 meters, I'm liking it. It seems like it's been going pretty good lately. I haven't had too much luck on 10 or 15 lately, but 20 seems to be picking up. And all that you described sounded awesome. And I'm also, it's cool that you were operating CW as well. That's something I kind of aspire to, but I haven't been dedicating a lot of time to it, but I'm making progress. But anyway, thanks again, and I'm all through, Rusty, so back to you. This is N5LX.
Kind of surprised. I thought you were going to come and, give me the old stink eye and at least, come yell at me once you found the fox, but I didn't see you. So, what's up? I figured you'd come by and, maybe just hang out for a bit.
Maybe it was old age. I think I was kind of tired. I didn't, it wasn't like a really super long hunt, but it was late enough in the day when I got started. I think I just got started late, which is probably why I didn't do that. But yeah, it's now we know. Everybody knows from now on to like check the fox location and see if it's near your house, and if it is, we'll definitely stop by.
Yeah, I looked at your trace, and I was really kind of surprised. I figured you, of all people, would have started up here and worked your way back. But, well, all right, we got Sky N5LX with the infamous Sky Fox hanging out with us. Anybody want to come chat with Sky? Come with your name and call sign.
UKF, Steve.
Go ahead, sir.
Hey, Sky, thanks again for showing me that loop antenna. I was just curious whether, I know you picked up Slovenia on it, which is unbelievable for such a tiny little thing. I was wondering if you had any other interesting contacts that I didn't hear about. Over.
This is N5LX for ID. Yeah, Steve, that was the only, really interesting contact I had. All the other ones, I only made maybe about a half a dozen. The other ones were like Colorado. It was kind of across the board. Just the rest of them were all continental United States. But it seemed to work, which I think I may have already mentioned it. But it was kind of surprising because the loop is optimized for 10 meters. It wasn't really designed to work on 20 meters, but the capacitor it has enough capacitance where I can tune it down lower, and it seems to work. I'm really looking forward to building the next one, which is the conductor is a bigger diameter and the loop will be bigger, optimized for 15 meters. So I guess based on my experience with the 10-meter loop, I'm expecting the 15-meter loop to probably work even better on 20 meters. Anyway, yeah, thanks. And I really enjoyed being out there and hanging out with you guys. This is N5LX.
All right, anybody else want to come chat with Sky? Come with your name and call sign.
N5SMO.
Bill?
Hey, I just had, Sky, I had a question for you about using a mag loop. How touchy is the tuning capacitor on it? How difficult is it to get the dip where you want it? Can you use it with like a direct drive, or do you have to have some kind of electronic stepper motor or like a reduction gear on the capacitor to be able to actually get the dip where you want it?
That's a great question. And so the answer, I guess there's a lot of answers, but let me try to just condense it down. The tuning range is determined by the range of the capacitor, and I think the one that I have is like 10 picofarads to maybe like 200 picofarads, and it's actually too wide of a range, and it's multi-turn. It's maybe like 12 turns, I think. If you get one that has more turns, it's kind of geared down, and you get one that has a narrower range, then it won't be so sensitive. But the one that I have, for a 10-meter loop, with 10 picofarads to like 200 picofarads, it's very sensitive, and it seems to be more sensitive as you get lower in frequency. In other words, it's optimized for 10 meters, and if I go down to 20 meters, it's really touchy. In 10 meters, it's a little bit better. But so the trick is, I'm going to reset. The trick is trying to find a capacitor that has a narrow enough range and enough turns to where it won't be like super sensitive, because they're going to have a little play in them. I don't know if you would technically call it hysteresis, but I think you know what I mean. And the other thing is, you can use a stepping motor, or you can use a direct drive motor, or a belt. Well, you can't really use a direct drive motor because there's high voltage on it, so it has to be isolated somehow. But everybody I've known use, and I'm planning on doing that as well. They always use some kind of a reduction. I'm going to use a gear reduction motor and a couple of pulleys, which will add even more reduction. The upside of that is that it makes it easier to tune and accurately. The downside is that it takes you longer to tune it across the band. So I guess maybe a multi-speed motor could help, or a speed control. But yeah, it's kind of the mag loop is an interesting antenna because it's like a big bundle of compromises. Back to you. This is N5LX.
All right, cool. Well, thanks, man. Thanks for the rundown and the description there. That's something I just always wondered about. Building one, and at some point I'd like to try to do one, and just trying to kind of get my ducks in a row for what I should be looking to acquire at some point. Back to net, N5SMO.
All right, fun questions all around. Anybody else got any questions for Sky about his antenna or anything else? All right, well, nothing heard. Thanks, Sky, for checking in on the net, doing the Fox News, and putting foxes out like every weekend, man. You're definitely a reason that our fox hunt thing is doing so well and keeping it going. So thank you for doing them. Thank you for coming to find them. And next on the list is Ernesto, but we're going to make him wait because we got to tell everybody you're listening to the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club's Thursday Night Net. Our call sign is N5OAK. My name is Rusty, WZ5BBS. I'm your net control for tonight. We're here every Thursday at 8 p.m. So if you missed us tonight, or if you got something else to do, every Thursday at 8 p.m. we are here. For more details about the club, becoming a member, and anything else you want to know, visit us online at n5oak.org. We got Tron going on in the video net, and we got quite a few people hanging out with us there. Next on the list, it is Ernesto, KI5PZN. Ernesto, what is your favorite adult beverage, and what'd you do for field day, man?
This is KI5PZN. Well, I'll say I like scotch. It's been a while. I mean, I guess I kind of got bored of drinking. Go figure. But scotch is my thing, and if we're talking about cocktails, then I'll go with the, what is it? It's been that long. The old-fashioned. I'll take an old-fashioned any day. Weekend, I did summer field day on Saturday for a little while with the Austin Club. Spent, I don't know, till early afternoon. Then I was busy after that. I had to leave and get all the things started. And that was the weekend. And then this week just working also as well. Gotten some radio here and there, some afternoon radio. All the you guys are commuting, and HF usually at nighttime. Right now I am going through a document that Lance W5KEX sent me a long time ago. It's the CW-QSO protocol, because I didn't know how to approach the conversations in CW, so I'm going through that and see what the standard protocol is on those conversations and try to get that kind of sorted out so that I know what I'm doing, kind of, sort of, when I'm in CW. Another thing that I was going to mention, since I heard David speaking Spanish earlier, that reminded me. Usually during the week, Monday to Friday, sometimes during the weekend, but if for those of you guys that are listening, and if you speak Spanish or you want to, I don't know, practice your Spanish, there's a round table. I guess you'll have to have at least a general license to get there. A round table on 7.225. Usually you get started like around 6 p.m., 5:30, and it could go for 3 hours. It depends. Good conversations, really friendly people. And some people just jump in and they're practicing Spanish, as you can tell, and people are very friendly and very welcoming. So that's just, out there for those of you who are interested in, I don't know, practicing your Spanish, or if you speak Spanish and want to go somewhere and and do the things. I think that's about it, man. This is KI5PZN, back to net control.
All right, well, I know you've been super busy on this nonprofit that you put together, and I know a lot of people are curious about that. So if can you tell us anything about what's going on over there and point us for any information?
Thank you for asking, Rusty. Yes, for those of you listening to, aside from work and ham radio, I'm involved with the nonprofit called Sparrows Austin.org. Well, the website is sparrows-austin.org, and it's a home. We're building a home for adults with intellectual disabilities. We've been working like crazy maniacs, doing all kinds of stuff. Mireya's been working every single day up there, just doing labor and trying to get the place retrofitted. So yeah, if you guys are interested in volunteering, it's a nonprofit, always looking for volunteers. And you can check it out at sparrows-austin.org. Thank you, Rusty, for bringing that up. Back to net, KI5PZN.
Yeah, man, throw the URL in the Thursday night net for everybody so they can click on it and go see. All right, we got Ernesto. He is the what are you? You're the secretary and soon to be vice president at the next meeting if everybody votes for you. Anybody want to chat with Ernesto? Come with your name and call sign.
KG5TNS, this is Johnny.
Well, the floor is all yours, Johnny. Go right ahead.
Hey, Ernesto. Thanks for hooking me up with all these fine people locally here. I'm really enjoying the local net. But I work part-time for Meals on Wheels, and we do free food for seniors. You got to be 60 years or older. But I just thought I'd throw that out there. Maybe some of your people would be interested in a little plate lunch. It's Monday through Friday at a lot of different locations all over Austin. So if anyone was interested in that, I could hook them up. Anywho, I'll go back to monitoring KG5TNF.
Appreciate the information, man, and I'm glad that you were able to sort out the issue with your HD, and I can hear you now in the air. You know, I think we're like super close to each other because you were talking earlier on the 444-100 with the guys, and I switched the HD to reverse, and you were like full scale. So I think we're probably like half a mile away from each other. So usually, if I can hear a repeater with my HD, you should too. So we're like super close. Well, I appreciate the information, man. Back to net. This is KI5PZN.
All right. Well, I'm not 60 plus, Johnny, but I certainly look it. So I don't know if that counts. We got Ernesto hanging out with us. Anybody else want to come chat with Ernesto? KI5PZN. Come with your name and call sign.
N5LX.
That's the guy.
Yeah, Ernesto, just give me a little brief description of the Austin Club field day. I had stopped by with Rusty, just briefly, kind of before everything got started, and the setup looked interesting.
Right on, man. I guess I missed you there because I got there with same time that Rusty did. I guess we were in different areas. I was here at the Red Cross building on Manor Road, close to Manor Road, close to Airport Boulevard, pretty close. We have a whole bunch of stations, covering all the bands and all the modes. We also have the Aries, emergency response trailer, and that was pretty amazing. It's my first time seeing it. Got a whole bunch of radios inside, air conditioning, whole bunch of antennas. I mean, Rusty and I were walking around earlier when they were starting to set things up, and we were kind of geeking out about all of the things that they have. But yeah, well, this was my very first field day, my summer field day. So I was just walking around asking a bunch of questions, and I guess my my main thing that I needed to do while there was to order pizza for the club. So I didn't do any radios, but I got to talk to all of the guys who were the stations and the CWers too, and I was pretty humble when I saw the guys using their CW paddles. Like, just send me home to practice when I saw the guys doing what they were doing. But a bunch of really friendly people. We had a great time. We got new hams, and to-be hams also showed up as well. But that was it. I didn't spend a whole lot of time there because I was busy doing this other thing that Rusty talked about, the non-profit. I was working labor the rest of the weekend. Back to you.
Thanks, Ernesto. Yeah, I think you kind of reminded me in your description there. I had intended to go by and kind of hang out and watch the guys do CW. I was figuring I could maybe learn from them or maybe just get a little inspiration. 'Cause, I didn't remember the guy's name, but I ran into a guy who was really into it, and I think maybe next chance I get, I want to watch one of those guys operate.
Yeah, I mean, I talk a lot of time with Jimmy Earl. I forgot I know his last three of his call sign. He might be W5 MET. I know it's MET. And we talked about it, and, you know, his advice, like everybody else who's good at CW, to me was, you know, just get on the air. That's how you get good at it. So here I am learning the protocol so that I can jump in and be less annoying to other guys. It's KI5 PZN.
We snuck over to the Austin Club after Old Man Breakfast, and they were setting everything up, and it was only about 105 out. But yeah, I had no idea that the Red Cross had all of those antennas that are just hanging out there doing their thing. So that was kind of fun. Their MCOM trailer was neat. They had a bunch of stuff in there. That was a lot of fun. And then they started trying to put me to work, and I was like, all right, guys, I'm out. It's time for me to go do something else. So, but yeah, it was a whole lot of fun. Anybody else got anything for Ernesto before we let him go?
K5BZI.
Yes, sir, Ray.
Ernesto, I had heard that building was going to be closed, and the Red Cross was moving, and that the club must not have access to it anymore. Was that just a vicious rumor, or is that something that's in the works?
That might happen. We might be doing a field day next year from under a bridge on I-35.
Okay. So you're able to still go this year. That's good to hear. Yeah, I'd heard that was already a done deal. But sorry to hear that you're losing the space. But good luck to the group. And yeah, K5BZI back to net.
Anybody else for Ernesto? Gotta leave a nice long pause in case Sky has another question. All right, man. Well, thanks for what you do for the club, and hopefully we'll go fox hunting this weekend. Next on the list is Johnny, KG5TNF. I talked to Johnny, what was it, yesterday? I think we had a conversation. It's all kind of melts together. But Johnny, welcome to the net. Welcome to the club. What is your favorite adult beverage, and did you get to do any field day fun? KG5TNF, are you out there, sir? All right, well, we'll swing back by and see if he's here once we get to the end of the list. Next, it is the Yellow Liver Spots himself. That's right, man. Put on your ears. It's time to talk. KI5YLS. Are you out there? What's your favorite adult beverage, and what'd you do for field day, man?
Well, it's my turn to talk. Let's go. This is KI5YLS, Cody, for ID. Favorite adult beverage, too easy, Jaeger bombs. Either Jaeger bombs or there's a shot called a Vegas bomb that I like a lot. I usually bang on those all the time when I'm going out to the club or something like that. For a casual drink at home, I like the Jack Daniel's Southern Peach. I think those are good. As for field day, I didn't get to do anything. Had the house to myself this weekend and kind of enjoyed it because I did a lot of live streaming and content making, and matter of fact, that's what I'm doing right now is I'm listening to the net. I'm uploading videos and stuff like that. So let me reset real quick. So that's pretty much what's been going on. I got a job working at Chipotle on post in the same building, mall, shopping center kind of thing that my mom and grandma work at. So we're all going to be right around the same area, so that'll be cool. We can carpool and stuff. So I already had orientation, and I start sometime next week. I'll be a dishwasher. Let me reset one last time. So I ain't got to deal with people. I ain't got to deal with stupid people or nothing like that. All I got to do is wash dishes. Simple enough for me, and I make $13 an hour, so I can't complain. But that's all else that's been going on. Celebrated my mom's birthday yesterday. We went to IHOP. She wanted IHOP, so we went to IHOP, and some of her military kids came and surprised her. Matter of fact, one of them's here today because he couldn't come yesterday, and we've been celebrating her birthday and just having a good old time, and now I'm sitting here with my sweet tea and listening to the net. Back to you, Rusty.
You had a sweetie, man. That's exciting news. So you're a dishwasher at the Chipotle, man. I grew up in the restaurant business. I was the dishwasher. And you're right, you don't really have to talk to people. But the one thing you can't do is piss off the cooks, because if you piss off the cooks, then they will send back dishes that have got stuff that you can't get off with dynamite. So make sure you you gotta treat the kitchen staff well, and make sure that they're taken care of. But yeah, I hated being the dishwasher because you're the one you're the last one out. Everybody dumps all your stuff on you at night. So God bless you, man. And I remember you saying that you'd never been to Chipotle. So have you at least tried Chipotle yet?
Funny enough, I have not. I'm working at a place that I've never tried. But one of the nice benefits of working there I get one free meal per shift per day. And that includes a entree, a drink, and a side. So I'm sure sooner or later, especially with the fact that I'll be starting with no money, I'll be getting lunch, so I'll be trying it. So usually when I want something like a burrito or a bowl like that, I go to Freebird because they have more options. And in my opinion, I kind of think they're top notch. I mean, they can't be beat. So, yeah, that's what I usually do. So no, I've never had Chipotle, but I'm sure I will soon. Back to you.
Already established that you have no taste because you said that you don't like the McRib. So I don't know what we're gonna do about this. But are they bringing the McRib back? Like, what brought that about in the Discord? I'm so confused.
As far as I know, they are not bringing it back. Thank Jesus, because that thing is nasty. I tried it when it first came out. It is nasty. No, what brought it about was I was watching a YouTube video of some UK YouTubers where they ordered one of everything off their UK McDonald's menu. And one of the things that the UK McDonald's has is the snack wraps. They don't call them snack wraps over there, but they're basically the same thing. Well, then I was like, oh my God, I wish they still had the snack wraps. I would still get one right now. And then I was like, you know what, I'm going to Twitter and I'm tagging them, and I'm going to make a complaint that they need to bring them back. So that's where that came about.
All right, man. Steve's making me hungry already. Yeah, you got me all excited because they said they weren't going to bring it back, so I went and I got two, and I give you that. I love McRibs once a year. Every day, no, I would, it'd probably be horrible things to your guts. But all right, well, enough chit chatting with me. Anybody got anything for Cody? We're going to open up the floor. Come with your name and call sign.
AI5JT, Rick?
Go ahead, Rick.
Cody, so I used to go to Freebirds often, and they've changed up their menu, and I don't know if there's still, a tier above place you're working at now. So you may want to take them up and give us your own opinion about what Freebirds today tastes like. Versus where you're working at today.
Well, like I said, I get a free meal for every shift I work, which is a day. I don't know what days yet, but I know for a fact I will be working from 4 to 9:30. So there's a good chance I may not be on Thursday night nets very often, but I'll try. But I know for the beginning I'm not going to have any money, so I will probably use that free meal to my advantage. So I will have Chipotle, and then I will go and get Freebirds recently, here very soon, and then I'll compare the two, and I'll come back with my final analysis about that.
Thanks, Cody. I look forward to that. AI5JT clear.
Anybody else want to come say hi to Cody? Come with your name and call sign.
KC3, NAG, Randy.
Got Randy on the flagship. Go ahead, sir.
Howdy, Cody. My camping partner for Winter Field Day. Congratulations on your job, man. But I got a question, and maybe Rusty or somebody can answer this actually, but it sounds like there's a lot of echo on your transmission. You need to hang some shag carpet up on your walls or something, I think. Back to you.
Hey Randy, my Winter Field Day buddy. I am not too sure about the Echo. I'm on Echolink, so I don't know why there would be an Echo. But I'll check it out and see what's going on. If anybody else wants to clarify if they hear that too, maybe, I don't know if it's me, or if it's Randy or what, so just let me know.
Maybe it is Echolink anyway. I realize it's hard for you to hit the flagship 320 from your location.
It's easy, Randy. The name, Echolink. So that's why the echo's there. It's just all part of it. Anybody else got anything for Cody before we let him go? Come with your name and call sign.
Thomas, W5TNC.
Yes, sir. Thomas, floor is yours.
Hey, Cody. I just wanted to say congratulations on the new job. And when you get a chance, try the carnitas at Chipotle. They're really good. That's all. W5TNC.
Hey, Thomas. KF5 Wireless Friday. I guess I need a list from y'all on what to try because everybody's giving me suggestions and all that, and I don't know, I would probably just go with the normal chicken, and probably that's all I would ever get. So y'all I guess I need a list from y'all, from Chipotle eaters on what to get because, like I said, I've never had Chipotle. And usually when I go to Freebirds, I just get chicken, so who knows. But thank you for the congrats, and, back to that.
Yeah, so my trick, I get the bowl and get all the fun stuff, and Thomas's rice and carnitas are really good. I do that, and then I get a bag of chips and just kind of scoop it out and make them, kind of ghetto nachos, and they're phenomenal. Anybody else got anything for Cody before we let him go? Nothing heard. Well, man, good luck on the job. Have fun training, and I can't wait to hear all about it next week. Next on the list is Thomas, W5TNC. Good to see you on the net. Thomas, what is your favorite adult beverage, and did you do anything fun for field day?
I like wine now. I don't know, I was a beer drinker before, but went on a cruise recently and they had a wine tasting, and so I went there, just tried a whole bunch of different wines, and when you have people like explain what's actually going on, you can kind of get into it, and my favorite is champagne, which I guess is still on the beginner side, but that's what I like the most. Now for field day, I didn't do anything, stayed in the house in the air conditioned. I think I might have been on call for work that weekend. I don't remember, but yeah, no, I didn't really participate. Back to net, W5TNC.
So if you're new on the wine, are you a white wine guy or a red wine guy? You like Merlot, Cabernet? Like what tickles your fancy?
Yeah, like I said, the champagne was my favorite, like the ones on the drier side. Have a little problem with blood sugar, so try to stay with the ones that are a little more on the dry side. Yeah, the reds are pretty good too. I had a Cabernet there that was really good, but if you get into the fruity sweet ones, then it's not much better for you than just drinking beer. So yeah, try to stick to the bubbly whites, I guess.
Right on. Most people start out in the white wines and make their way to the red wines. So I highly recommend, from time to time you keep poking in on the red wines. I love Merlots and Cabernets, and, I don't like the real super sweet stuff either. So, well, all right, cool. We got Thomas, W5TNC, hanging out with us. Anybody want to come say hi? Bring your name and your call sign. Nothing heard. Well, man, have a good week. Thanks for hanging out with us. That is the end of round one, and we got plenty more rounds to come. But before we do that, we're going to call out Ernesto again and see if he wants to do our net rundowns. I figure we'll switch it up and bring it in after round one. Not everybody's here towards the end of the net because, last time I did this, I think it went till midnight. So, Ernesto, KI5PZN, if you're out there and you want to do the net rundowns, come on in. Now's your time.
All right, this is KI5PZN. These are the list of the weekly nets that we have access to here. We start with Mondays with the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club 6-meter Mondays. That's on the 50.125 megahertz. Again, that's at 8 p.m. on Mondays. And if you are a technician, you can participate in that 50125. That's 6 meters. We also have the Williamson County Amateur Radio Club New Ham Net. That's on the 146.640 megahertz repeater at 8 p.m. And the Texas A&M University Amateur Radio Club Information and Training Net, that's on the M5 OAK repeater system and the University Link repeater system, also at 8 p.m. Tuesdays, we have the Oak Hill Southside Simplex hosted by Ray, K5BZI, that's on the 146.555 megahertz frequency at 8 p.m. And that one is, if you're in Newham, we're not using a repeater on that one, the 146. You just dial to 146.555, that's FM, and see if you can reach the guys. It's a fun group. Wednesday, the UT Amateur Radio Club Wednesday Net. That's on the University Link repeater system and the N5 OAK repeater system at 8 p.m. On Thursday, we have two nets. We have the Oak Hill CW net hosted by Pat, W5WTH, and that's on the 3.532 megahertz frequency at 7:30 p.m. 3.532. If you are a technician, you can also participate on that one. That's 80 meters, but that's the that portion the technicians can go participate for CW 3.532. Don't have to be a really good CWer to participate. You can use a computer, you can use an app to decode, and everybody's welcome to that net. Again, it's 7:30, 30 minutes before this one gets started. Also, on Thursday, this one, the Oak Hill Thursday Night Net, hosted by a different operator every week. That's on the N5 OAK repeater system and the University Link repeater system, and it starts at 8 p.m. every Thursday. Friday, we don't have any nets right now, so I guess we'll figure something out. Might jump into maybe 80 or 40 meters and keep the party going, but we'll figure something out. So, all right, on Saturday, start at 10 a.m. with the K5LPJ Saturday morning net. That's hosted usually by James, KI5UXW. And again, that's on the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club repeater system. That's also on the University Link repeater system and the 146.940 repeater as well. Also on Saturdays, we have the Austin Amateur Radio Club Elmer's Net, hosted by Jeff and 5MNW, and that's on the 146.940 megahertz repeater at 7 p.m. Also on Saturday, the 220 megahertz Guys Original Preservation Net, that's hosted by Steve, KB9DSQ. That's on the 224.100 megahertz repeater at 9 p.m. If you don't have a 220 radio, you can dial up through Echolink by connecting to Whiskey Mike Niner Whiskey Dash Romeo. Whiskey Mike Niner Whiskey Dash Romeo. It's a really good net on Saturday night at 9 p.m. On Sundays, we have a bunch of nets. We have the Austin Amateur Radio Club 10-meter weekly net, and that's on the 28.410 megahertz at 3 p.m. And also, if you're a technician, you can participate on that net. That's on the portion that the technician can definitely operate. That's 28.410 megahertz at 3 p.m. That's the Austin Amateur Radio Club 10-meter weekly net. 7 p.m. on Sundays, the Travis County Aries weekly net. That's on the 147.360 megahertz repeater at 7 p.m. For that one, the weekend wind down net hosted by Ernesto, KI5PZN. That's on the University Link repeater system and the N5 OAK repeater system at 7:30 p.m. every Sunday. After that one, the Austin Amateur Radio Club Swap Net, hosted by Jeff, and 5MNW, and that's on the 146.940 megahertz at 9 p.m. after the weekend wind down net. Don't forget to go to n5oak.org to check the calendar for the DMR machine net. There is a net almost every night, and that's on the n5oak.org. You can click on the net calendar, and you'll get to see all of these nets that I'm talking about. That's all of the nets that we have access through here. And I'm sending this back to Net Control. This is KI5PZN.
Thank you, man. And for those of you out there just tuning in, you're listening to the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club's Thursday Night Net. Our call sign is N5OAK. My name is Rusty, WZ5BBS. I'm your Net Control for tonight. We're here every Thursday at 8 p.m. For more details about the club or become a member, join us on the Discord. Now's a good time to get in on the Discord. Go over to n5oak.org. We got a bunch of chatter going on in the Discord channel. We've switched from Tron to How It's Made. So we got a bunch of fun stuff going on in the video. Come join Sky, Ray, and Steve, and myself hanging out in the video net if you are on the Discord. It is time for round 2 of regular check-ins, so if you would like to come and be a part of tonight's net, please come with your name and call sign now.
This is KG5UNK Bella.
Kilo 7, Tango Victor Alpha, David in North Austin.
This is Kilo 5 Bravo Mike Romeo Brandon in South Austin.
This is Whiskey 9 Delta Papa Yankee, Northwest Round Rock.
This is Kilo India 5 Zulu Tango Whiskey, Spicewood.
And our second round, Whiskey 9 Delta Papa Yankee. What is your name, sir?
I guess I spaced it out. His name is Dave.
Fantastic. Thank you, sir. All right, well, we got anybody else wants to check in on round number 2. Come with your name and call sign now. Nothing heard. We got Thomas, W5TNC. He just joined us in the video. Welcome, Thomas. Hope you like how it's made. All right, so first up on round 2 is Bella, KG5UNK. And I think with a call sign like that, that means you got to have a Doug maybe somewhere around you and maybe a Trina. But Bella, what is your favorite adult beverage, and did you get to do anything for field day?
I'm not old enough to drink.
All right, well, we got Bella's a good girl. She's not old enough to drink. What have you been up to this week, Bella? Anything fun?
I have been at the UT camp for volleyball all week, and I've just been playing volleyball all week.
Well, very fun. You have been driving Douglas around for the fox hunt last weekend by my house?
Yes, I did.
Well, very good. What are your thoughts on fox hunting? You think you want to do it anymore?
I've been doing geocaching since I was really little, so I really like doing the fox hunts too.
Well, very fun. I've been doing fox hunts. I've never been on the geocaching side of it, so there's a lot of similarities in there. Well, very fun. So we got Bella, KG5UNK, hanging out with us. Anybody want to come say hi to Bella? Come with your name and call sign.
KC3 NAG, Randy.
The floor is all yours, sir.
Thank you, Rusty. Hi, Bella. I used to do quite a bit of geocaching around here in Austin and also in Philadelphia. And I was doing it with my mom. Like, she was like, well, I was like probably 60. She was about 80. And yeah, we had a ball. Like, geocaching is like a lot of fun. So, you know, it's kind of like the fox hunting thing, except, you know, you're actually using coordinates to find what you're looking for versus trying to just look for what you're trying to find. I don't know. How do you say that? What do you think, Bella? Back to you.
Every time I go to a different state, we always try and find at least one geocache so you can get the little badge or whatever the website gives you.
Yeah, all right. Well, super cool. KC3NAG, I'm going to turn it back to Rusty.
Thank you, Randy. Anybody else got anything for Bella before we let her go?
PZN.
Go ahead, Ernesto.
Hey, Bella, it's good to hear you on the net. I was going to ask you, how are you liking the Uncle Doug's new puppy back here?
He's fun. He's definitely a little bit of a terror sometimes. He definitely likes to rip up stuff and run around the house and just be chaotic with the other dog too. But overall, he's a really fun puppy.
Right on. Yeah, I saw pictures and he looked adorable. The dog, not Uncle Doug, but very cool. Well, that was it. Glad that you are on the net, and I'm also happy to hear that you've been enjoying fox hunting. So I guess back to net. This is KI5PZN.
I forgot about the new puppy. He's adorable. All right, anybody else got anything for Bella before we let her go? Nothing heard. Well, Bella, thanks for hanging out with all the dorks. We love having new people, and you're welcome to come hang out on the net anytime you like. Next on the list is David, K7TVA. David, what is your favorite adult beverage, and what'd you do for field day, man?
Hey, Rusty. Hey, everybody. Thanks for running the net. This is David, K7TVA. So, I'm going to go with Scotch as my favorite adult beverage. My favorite Scotch is Monkey Shoulder, which is actually a blend. You know, there's no rule that a Scotch has to be a single malt to be good, especially if you're trying to not break the bank. So the two things you're most likely to find in my liquor cabinet are Monkey Shoulder and Maker's Mark. Beer is good too, and wine is good when you're trying to look sophisticated in front of other people while still being allowed to drink, so that's good. I've never had a McRib, and I don't want to, don't plan to. I'll throw that out there. As for field day, I did field day from home. I got a new radio and a new antenna, and it was my opportunity to experiment with it, get to learn all of the features and the quirks. And I think I accomplished that mission. I have a pretty good idea what's going on with it now, and how to get what I want out of it. So that worked out. I didn't like try real hard to make a lot of contacts. Probably ended up with 30 or 40 total, but I made contacts on 80, on 40, on 20, on 15, and I might have made one on 10, I forget. All out of the same piece of wire, which is pretty cool. I got some Oak Hill names in the log that I'm not sure I could ever say I made a simplex contact with before, so that's cool. I'll let this drop. And I made a CW contact with a stranger outside of the CW net, which is might be the first time I've done that. Field day makes it pretty easy because you know more or less what people are going to send. Like, oh, he's going to send his class in his section now. So it gives a little bit of an edge with the copying. But people go pretty fast on field day, so it was tough. It was probably around 20 words per minute, and I'm really only comfortable up to like 15. But that's I can thank the CW net for being my gateway drug to being able to actually go out and use CW in the real world. So that was cool. A lot of cool milestones for me on field day. And since then, big thing that I got going on right now is I'm working on a new antenna. I'm always working on an antenna, or like 2 antennas or 3 antennas. So I'm working on a double cross antenna for satellite reception at 137 megahertz, which is like 4 dipoles in a square, and they're like angled, and they have to be connected and phased correctly. So it's kind of complicated, but it's coming along. I'm going to have to figure out how to actually put it up high to test it out. The final location is going to hopefully be installed up on my roof, but that's going to take a little while to get parts for, and I have to run coax up there and everything. So I will stop blathering on and hand it back to the net. This is David, Kilo 7 Tango Victor Alpha.
Man, what have we talked about? Talking to strangers on CW, man. Nothing good comes out of that. Well, very good, man. Yeah, the new antenna that you got playing field day, that's very fun. And then, if you ever need somebody to help throw that big bag of rocks somewhere, get somebody else to do it, because I'm awful. All right, we got David, K7 TVA. He's got lots of fun projects and CW fun going on. Anybody want to come talk to David, come with your name and call sign.
PZN.
Go ahead, sir.
Hey, David, it's good to hear you on the net. I have a question for you. When you're doing CW, do you do like head copy, or you write down the messages as they come in?
Well, I'm probably doing it the wrong way, but I am a single letter by single letter copier, writing it down. And so sometimes I'm like copying letters, and I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. And then I realize that I wrote down a word like with, and I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, actually I do know that word.
Right on, man. Yeah, I've been working on that, but it's been really hard, so I'm just curious about it and see if other people are doing it that way. I heard you tonight on the net talking to Sam. I didn't get a chance to jump in, but I heard you guys out there doing your thing, so very cool. Well, thanks for asking the question. Back to Net Control, this is KI5PZN.
All right, Ernesto. Well, I expect to hear you next week on the CW net. We'll get that. I'll get you in the log. K7 TVA.
Ernesto. Stop slacking. All right, K7 TVA is with us. Anybody else want to say hi? See what all his antenna projects are? Come with your name and call sign. Heard. Well, have a good night, man, and thanks for coming to hang out with us. Tell Natalia we said hello, and that we completely loved her singing on the final Friday night trivia net. Next on the list is Brandon, K5 BMR. Brandon, what is your favorite adult beverage, and what'd you do for field day?
Hey everybody, K5 BMR. I don't know if anyone has gotten into ranch waters recently, but they're all over the place now, and they are darn good. They are really good. It's kind of mellow, it's like a tequila seltzer drink, low ABV, and keeps you hydrated when it's hot out. So if you haven't gotten any, I definitely recommend it. Field day, I went out to Ranch 3232 for a little bit, which was a lot of fun, just as kind of things were kicking off. Met Mike, Chris, saw Ray, so that was cool. Seeing everybody out there. Yeah, it was just kind of for a couple hours, and then had to get back to the house. But hopefully we'll have a portable setup for next year. That's about it. Yeah, K5BMR.
So is this your first ever field day to participate in, or have you been to one that kind of got you into ham radio, or was like this it?
Yeah, this is my first field day because I got licensed in January. I tried to make it to the winter field day, but I ended up having to travel for work. So this was it. I was really hoping to be able to kind of stay longer, do some operating. I think next year I'm definitely going to try to plan a little bit differently and spend the night or winter field day. I'm I'm pretty fired up because I'm a winter guy. I like the cold. So yeah, and I've got a Yaesu 991A. Like I could have lugged it out. I just didn't have the wherewithal or time. So next year, yeah, K5BMR.
Well, very cool, man. Yeah, we got Ranch 3232. They're friends with us on Facebook now, and they're friends with Ray as well, so maybe we can do some fun stuff out there for next summer field day. I'm much more of a winter field day guy myself, but very cool, man. Glad you got to go hang out and experience your first field day. Anybody want to come say hi to Brandon, K5BMR, come with your name and call sign. Nothing heard. Well, enjoy a ranch water for me, man. It's I love Topo Chico, but yeah, it's either bourbon for me or I go straight to like the Mexican beer. I go to Tecate or Modelo or something like this. It's kind of either or. But all right, next on the list is Dave, W9DPY. Dave, I don't know that I've heard you on the repeater, and welcome to the net. What is your favorite adult beverage, and what'd you do for field day? Anything fun?
Good evening, everybody. Dave, W9DPY up here in Round Rock. Oh, man, adult beverage, favorite. You're like asking me, which Sophie's Choice for children. I can always drink a beer. But when it comes to the harder stuff, I'm kind of like you, bourbon man. So I like good Irish whiskey too. So I say all this, and then I can tell you, I make all my friends say I make great martinis. On field day, I'm actually, I've kind of stalked I'm on the Discord channel, though I haven't used it a lot. And have heard a lot on your club. I'm pretty familiar with it, just kind of hang out. But I'm actually a officer for Williamson County, WARC, and we had a station out there in Lake Granger. And this was the first time in about 6 or 7 years I actually came out and really stayed the whole day. I was trying to get some 2-meter simplex contacts. I thought I had this real fancy setup that didn't work, and was also in charge of trying to get the satellite passes. I've done it before with a Arrow satellite antenna, and didn't do any good this time. I just want to say good to hear Randy. I know KC3NAG is a good dude, and nice to hear a young person, Bella, on there. And for the gentleman, the other David, he said 137 meg antenna, so I'm guessing he's doing some WeFax. So that was it for me, and I'm glad I was able to check in. Whiskey 9, Delta Papa Yankee.
Oh, man, who doesn't like a good martini? Well, hey, thanks for checking in on the net, and glad we got you in the Discord. I think we also have Glenn from your club. What is it, WB4 KTF, I think? I think that's Glenn. I could totally be wrong, but well, good to have you here. Anybody got anything for Dave, W9DPY, while we have him? Come with your name and call sign. We're getting to the point where everybody's had too much to drink, Dave. Thanks for hanging out with us. Let's go talk to Blake, KI5ZTW. Blake, what's going on, man? What's your favorite adult beverage? And tell everybody what you did for field day. I think I know.
Hey, dude. Yeah, back home today. Been down in South Texas for a couple days, working. And my favorite adult beverage, pretty simple, is I'm sort of I love cheap beer, like any kind of beer that comes in a can. So ironically, we go out to eat, like, would you like a beer, sir? Yes, I would. What do you have in a can? Oh, we have Pabst Blue Ribbon. Fine, give me that. Let it reset. When I buy beer at the store, it's usually Lone Star Light. That's my go-to. That's what I'm sort of known for having in my hand. When people see me drink beer is a blue can of Lone Star Light. But anything in a can, anything that's cheap, is fine. I'm not much into craft beers at all. I just like cheap cold beer. For alcohol, I like really good tequila, and I like scotch as well. You mentioned Mexican lagers. A friend of mine just opened a brewery in South Austin, down sort of by William Cannon on the east side, just right off 35 on the frontage road, called Fast Friends Brewing. I went to his soft opening, and he has an incredible Mexican lager that is worth you the trip to go down there and eat one of his pizzas and try one of his Mexican lagers. Trust me. Back to Ned.
Man, you don't have to twist my arm for beer and pizza, so we'll have to make that happen. Well, very cool. I was a little jealous of your field day setup. That was quite nice. But anybody got anything for Blake, KI5ZTW, while we got him here? Come with your name and call sign. So is your buddy's brewery like open for real now, or are we still soft opening, or what's the status?
No, it's wide open. The soft opening was Memorial Day weekend actually, so he's been wide open for a month, and he's open for lunch too. So he opens at 11, and they have great food, and you can't miss it. It is a gigantic building on the east side of 35, Fast Friends Brewing. We went to military school together out in Mexico. And he's doing great. He's a retired Army West Pointer that loves beer and food, and really cool dude. And the Mexican lager, like I said, is next level. Me and my friend that I went with, he brought it out to us, and we took a sip of that. We're like, oh man, that is dangerous.
All right, man. Well, DM me his stuff, and maybe we'll take the club out there and go have a little pizza and beer. Well, thanks for tuning in, man, and hanging out with us. We're at the end of round 2 of our regular check-ins, so I guess we should probably do an ID and let everybody know you're listening to the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club's Thursday Night Net. Our club call is N5OAK. My name is Rusty, WZ5BBS. I'm your net control for tonight. We're here every Thursday at 8 p.m., so come hang out with us. It's every Thursday. We got people hanging out in the Discord. We've switched over to Mystery of the Abandoned Places on the video net, so we got some interesting stuff going on over there. We'll open it up for round number 3 of regular check-ins. If you've been hanging out with us and you want to come join in, come with your name and call sign. And Randy, if you don't check in, I'm gonna come talk to you anyway. So come with your name and call sign.
This is Kilo Charlie 3, November Alpha Golf, Randy, Andersonville, coming in on the flagship 320.
Yay, we got Randy. Anybody else want to come in on round number 3? Well, Randy, I think you're the last one. KC3NAG, what's your favorite adult beverage, and did you do anything fun on field day, man?
I was listening for the crickets there. Favorite beverage? Maybe we should start with like what I don't like, and just eliminate those few right off the bat. Field day. I stayed home and spun the dial on 40 meters, but when everybody's talking on top of everybody, I just turn the whole radio off and go do something else.
Yeah, I had the radio on, and it was kind of fun to see, you know, it went from absolutely nothing to just pegged out across the bands. So, yeah, I feel you on that. I was going to do like a late night shift on Saturday at the house, and I ended up maybe drinking too much and passed out on the sofa. So I missed out on that, but yeah, I'm more of a overnight kind of guy. Everybody's a little more chill, a little more laid back. When you do field day, like those guys that start out field day, man, they're Johnny on the spot, ready to go, and it's just, you know, bit bam bam. So I'm more of an overnighter myself. Well, cool, man. Did you get any contacts at all? Did you do anything at all, or did you just turn the radio off and say the hell with it?
Well, I basically, just turned the volume off, and you know, I mean, I'm not a contester, and when it's like that, like, I don't know, go find something else to do, man, because it's just crazy. And then, like, you know, any other time, there's nobody on the air. Like, explain that to me.
It is kind of interesting how it's all or nothing, right? I'll give you that. Well, we got Randy, the most interesting man in ham radio, hanging out with us. Anybody wants to come chat with Randy, come with your name and call sign.
DPY. Hey, Randy, I just want to say hi. Good to hear you.
Yeah, I was going to tell Rusty that my friend Dave there, DPY, like, I told him, though, like, you know, check out the Oak. Dave's a really cool, fun guy. So he's a good guy to know.
Man, any friend of yours is going to be a fun guy to talk to. Anybody else got anything for Randy before we let him go? Come with your name and call sign.
K5BZI.
Come on in, Uncle Ray.
Hey, Randy, just wanted to jump in and say hello, man. It's been a while, and we're still waiting to hear you on Tuesday nights, and let me know when you are ready to put an antenna way, way high up in the air so we can hear you, man.
Yeah, well, hey, Ray. Yeah, I need to buy some 2-meter coax is what I really need to do. You know, I got a bunch of stuff for 40 sitting here. I've got like a couple 100 foot of stuff, but it's not good for 2 meters. So I just need to like buy some coax and get my little Yagi up. And pretty sure I can hit you. I could hear you pretty good the other night, just so you know. I better let her drop. Yeah, so sorry. Like, I shouldn't have said that I should let it drop. I just really meant I should turn it back to somebody. But whatever! Anyway, I certainly enjoyed Field Day with Ray, Winter Field Day. Like, that was such a blast. But, I don't know. I decided to stay home. KC3 Energy, back to net control.
All right, anybody else want to come talk to Randy? Come with your name and call sign. Well, thanks for coming to hang out with us, Randy. It's always good to hear you on the repeater. And the old Slacker chat's been kind of quiet, but you're probably still asleep then anyway. Well, all right. Well, that's going to do for round number 3. We'll see if anybody else out there is working while they're lurking, wants to come and say hi and throw out the call sign, come check in on the net. We'll open up round 4 and see if anybody else wants to come play before we wrap this up. Come with your name and call sign now if you want to check into the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club's Thursday Night Net. Nothing heard. Well, that's going to do it for tonight's Thursday Night Net. We hope you had a good time hanging out with us. The Thursday Night Net is a service of the Oak Hill Amateur Radio Club, and our call sign is N50AK. For more information on the club, becoming a member, or to learn how you can donate, visit us online at n50ak.org. We also have a very active Discord server, and that's where we all hang out when we're not playing radio. And you can join that and come play at n50ak.org as well. This is WZ5BBS, and it's time to bring tonight's Thursday Night Net to a close. I'm going to signal the repeater to switch back to regular amateur use. And while they're doing that, I'd like to thank y'all for inviting us into your home tonight. Have a great weekend. We'll see you right here next Thursday for more ham radio fun. 73, y'all.
Great night, Rusty. 738 K5BZI.
Thanks, sir.
BZI, NAG.
What's up, Randy?
Yeah, I brain froze there for a second. But what I was going to say is, I sent you another video, kind of like how the one I sent before of how the first photographs were set through the telephone lines. I found another one on one of the first TV stations in California, and it's a pretty interesting tale. So I don't know, check your mail.
Yeah, well, I was looking at it right now. Yeah, you know what? It came through the other day, and I didn't have a chance to watch it because I was in a meeting when I saw it come through, and I forgot. So I'm glad you reminded me because I'm going to watch that right now.
Yeah, I know you're into TV thing, and so I'd send it to you. KZ3 NG, I'll be lurking.
Yeah, Roger, man, I appreciate that. I'm actually working right now, but I'm going to take a break from work and watch it real quick.
AC5G testing.
You're late, Philip.
If I could just figure out how to work this radio, I would have been on time, man. First, I thought you were ignoring me at the end of round 3 because I barely snuck in there, and then tried to get on round 4, and he just, yep, oh, well, thanks. See you guys, 73. So, yeah, I thought it was a cool joke at first, and then I looked at the settings, and they didn't look quite right. So, sorry I missed you guys, but good to hear you on the Thursday night doing something for the week, some sort of net.
Right, I got to be productive. I found on these ICOM mics, they've got the buttons on the top, and every so often my fingers will hit up there, and it'll move the frequency just a little bit, and that'll get it. Was your offset off, or what's the excuse for not knowing the radio, man?
No, I did the button on top last week and changed the frequency during my check-in. But this one, I just flipped over to the memory channel, which should have had everything saved in there, but the tone squelch was just disabled. So I was transmitting on the correct frequency and everything, but without the CT CSS.
So something else on this radio, I don't know if you have the ICOM software or not, but when you drive the radio with the ICOM software, the memories that are in the radio do not transfer over to the software. It's like the software has its own memories and its own everything. And when you go start fiddling with the software and it starts playing with the radio, it will change things, and so you will have to do the same thing. Even if it's sitting on 147320, you're going to have to go dial it in and make sure that whenever you're done with the software, that you go back to the radio and do the thing, because otherwise you'll sit there and talk to nobody for hours.
Yeah, no software control on it yet. Still just playing with it manually on the desk. But yeah, like I said, I switched over from VFO to memory mode, and I've got all the presets in here for the local repeaters, and just assumed it would work, I guess, but I'm not sure what exactly I bumped or hit to piss it off this time. AC5G.
Right on, man. Well, I'm going to call it for the night. I'm going to turn the radio off and go watch some TV. We'll holler at you later. I got you in the log, though. AC5G, WZ5BBS. We will holler at you later, man.
All right, man. Have a good night. AC5G monitoring.